So this is a quick video on how to change one of these style water filters on your refrigerator. So this style here is the push in and twist, and it's very common on a lot of GE, Hotpoint, Maytag refrigerators. So I'll put a link in the description below for the replacement filters. But if you have a filter that looks like this, or on your refrigerator looks like this, so if your refrigerator has one of these horizontal plastic caps, then you have that kind of twist and seal water filter. So I'm going to show you how to change it out now. So it's very easy to do. Sometimes you can just grab it and twist it, and when you twist it you should feel it pop out, and then it's just a simple quick case of sliding it out. Now if for whatever reason you struggle to get this out, you're going to need to use a large pair of pliers and get on there, and if you're worried about marring the plastic, put a rag on it or whatever, and then get a good grip on it and very carefully twist it. Now the good news is, if you do mess up this black plastic trim, that is an inexpensive item. You can replace those pretty easily. So here we go. Now before I do that again, you don't need to shut the water off. So inside the back of this filter housing there is a mechanism which, when the filter is removed, it closes and it prevents water from coming out. So you don't have to be concerned about that at all. The only caveat I would give with that is if you get it twisted and the filter will not come out, it's stuck in there, it doesn't just pop. What I found is if you pull the refrigerator out and turn the water shut-off valve behind the refrigerator for the water supply line, if you turn that off and then hit the dispense button on your refrigerator door for the water, you can relieve the pressure in the line system, and that will help. And then if you still can't get it out, then get a pair of pliers and just go to town and pull that filter out. I know some people have really hard water. Some people neglect to change their water filter. Maybe you bought a house and the person that owned the house before you left the fridge there, and they never changed the water filter. So in any of those situations, you might need to use a pair of pliers. And again, if you mess up this little plastic trim piece, I'll put a link in the description below for that too. They're not crazy money to replace it if you chew it all up. So undo it, it pops out, slide out the filter. There's a few drops of water there, no big deal. And then this is the trim ring. So let me get to a better light and I'll show you that. So you'll notice on your new filter it doesn't come with this black plastic, but what it has is that T-shaped slot, and this just slides off, right? And again, this piece here, if you mess it up, it's not crazy expensive. So undo the packaging, put the new filter on, and then reinstall it in the reverse order. It's probably a good idea to put a towel down. So then to reinsert the filter, it doesn't matter. See, this is horizontal here. It doesn't matter which way up you start it, but you slide it in with it in the vertical position, and you push it in and twist it. And that's it for installing it. Okay. Then up here at the dispense valve, you're going to want to put about, I mean, it may say something different on your filter, but probably a good 2, 3, 4 gallons of water through the dispenser to flush out any sediment from the filter. And initially you're going to have air pockets in the line, so this is going to spit and sputter at you, and then eventually that will clear out as you replace all of the air in the filter with water. So let me do a few of those. You might be able to hear it. The water filter hissing in the background as the air is being pushed through. Now I had already replaced this, so this is a new filter, and I had already started the flushing process when I realized that making this video might be helpful. So that's pretty much it. So just repeat that process. So this is probably a 32-ounce cup. So 4 of these is 1 gallon. So yeah, a good 10-12 cups of water. Make sure it's flushed out. And don't be alarmed if your first fill, the water is all kind of grey and murky looking. That's not normal. That's the loose carbon dust inside the filter just being rinsed out. Once you get all that loose stuff out, your water will clear up completely fine. And that's pretty much it for changing that water filter. So I typically change that filter annually. You can do it every 6 months if you're somebody that uses your refrigerator water supply for making coffee every day, or you drink a lot of filtered water through your ice maker, then you may want to do it every 6 months. We don't. I have filtered water at my kitchen sink, and that's what we use for the majority of our drinking water. So another thing that I do once a year is I will remove this louvered cover and vacuum out the dust. As you can see, it's on the front grill there a little bit, but I'm going to pop this cover off and show you how I vacuum out some of the dust bunnies underneath, which help the refrigerator to not work so hard to maintain temperature. Now on my refrigerator, you open the door and every one of them is going to be slightly different, but they're all essentially the same, and that is at the end show you, there's a plastic piece here that goes into those spring clips, if you can see that. So that's all there is to that. You just pop it out. Some of them you have to have the refrigerator door open to access it. Some you don't. Just pop that out. And we're going to set that aside. And now we can close the refrigerator door back again. Let's see what the horror show under the refrigerator is. Well, not too bad. Pieces of glass, but you see this grill right here? Now I do this fairly often, at least once a year. But you get it vacuum cleaner with a soft brush attachment. You can just very carefully brush off as much of that dust as you can, because these are the fins that help the compressor cool. So get that out, and then if you are feeling super excited about it, you can pull the refrigerator forward and clean underneath this, which I'm not going to do today. So let me get the vacuum out and we'll get all of that dust cleaned off. So now we have this Dyson cordless vacuum cleaner, and it came with this soft bristle attachment, so that's actually perfect. Any vacuum cleaner, as long as you've got a soft bristle attachment that you can use. So let me get this set up and we'll start vacuuming it out. By the way, if you haven't bought one of these Astro rechargeable LED lights yet, they are fantastic. So it's got a magnetic base, and I've magneted it there so I can shine the LED strip. I'm going to do a quick review video on this work light, but it's great for when you're working on the car or projects around the house. But anyway, I've got that in place now, so let me get the vacuum out. Now you're probably going to have to stop periodically and clear the dust on the brush, and you're not looking for perfection, but that's the little section that I did. And I'll obviously spend a little bit more time, and doing it one-handed is hard with the camera, but clean as much of that off as you can. And again, you don't have to go crazy with it, and just be gentle. And if you're not comfortable doing this kind of stuff, then you can always call an appliance repair guy, and they do this kind of stuff all the time. Let me finish it up and I'll come back. So that's pretty good. Again, not perfect, not looking for perfection, but we're just trying to make sure there are no obstructions to the airflow. And the rest of them, because they do a zigzag Z shape going all the way back, there is dust on the other ones, but you can't get to them. Good news is it's an ever decreasing amount of dust, because the airflow is this way through the front of the refrigerator to the back. So this front line here catches the majority of the dust. And I mean, you can spend a little bit of extra time if you want to, but it doesn't really matter. The idea is you're just trying to prevent any blockages of the airflow that go through to the compressor. So that's it. And then I take the black plastic trim. You can either take it outside and hit it with a garden hose, or just scrub it in your sink and just get all that dust off. It doesn't really vacuum off, it's a little sticky, so using a little bit of dish detergent and a scrub brush works best for that in my experience. It'll just come right off, and if you need to, just use a little bit of dish detergent to help scrub it off. Do that, take a couple of minutes, rinse it off, and then we'll put this back in. So I'll finish that and I'll catch up with you in a second. And then reattaching the trim. It's just a matter of lining up those tabs. So both doors open on this one. Just line them up on both ends. And it just snaps back in. Let me get a light on that so you can see better. See that there? That's it. And there it is, all clean. New filter in. So that will take you all of, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes. And it's a worthwhile project to do once a year to keep your refrigerator running good. Pete Diamond, Jacksonville, Florida. Thanks for watching.